going on CoinX, they have this feed, okay? They have this feed thing here. And something that caught my eye, I scrolled down and I'm like, Domir.cas. Wait, Kaspa coin. Kaspa coin. That's the same Kaspa as this, okay? This thing is literally called Kaspa coin, okay? Their Twitter is Kaspa coin. You see down here, Kaspa coin. You go to it, and now it's not, doesn't exist anymore. You see, they used to have a ton of followers and everything, so now someone else took it over. They created a new account with and took the handle, but they had a big following and all that, and now it's showing as Domir. Dang, this guy just like DM'd me the other day and they're sharing all this. He's constantly promoting Kaspa and sharing all this Kaspa content. So let's just click it for a second, okay? So like, what's going on here? Okay, yeah, I'm not using VPN right now. So we'll open a new link. Here's the tweet, and it takes me to Domir. CoinX kind of just exposed this person as the previous person that was running Kasbot coin is now seemingly running this Domir.cas account. That's crazy because like his account was still linked on CoinX, so this just gave him away. That's wild. Again, it goes into anonymous devs, anonymous founders. So this Kaspa thing absolutely failed because the founders never had the intention to take it long term. Whenever the founder quits, that's it. It's done. The founder, I mean, the dev was, I mean, it could be various things. Maybe the founder and the dev was holding the majority of the tokens, which is also something to be concerned about. It's like whenever the founder and dev or whatever wants to quit, they quit, and that's it. No one's going to be able to continue it. Again, like this, they were producing artwork. They had their own like custom little artwork that looked kind of cool. I know it looked cool, but like I looked at the fact that, okay, pre-minted, the allocations were all like kind of red flags, and the fact that I needed to install like this program, this command line that could absolutely be a malicious malware, I was not interested at all. And here we go. It didn't survive. Why didn't it survive is because, well, this guy didn't want it to survive. He quit and took on a new identity. And that's the thing with anonymous founders and everything. They could just quit one day and take on another identity, and that's something you're going to have to live with. And is the community going to be able to CTO, community takeover? Are they going to be successful? Well, look at this, 20 followers. No, not successful. So I feel bad for everyone that's been affected, but you have to keep in mind that the flags are there. The red flags were there from the start. And CoinX just, that's crazy. That's crazy. You see, you know, Kango, you see Conan, the X account is linked. Like, it doesn't change the fact that this original account, even though the name with the handle was changed, it's still it's still connected to the account, the project account on CoinX. That's wild. Wild. I thought this guy was actually a good guy. You know, I was helping promote his content, like the Domir guy. I gave him a like, I gave him a comment. I liked his stuff, but seeing that he is the person that rugged or whatever, he just left, the dev that left Kaspa coin, like, that's not cool. And if this isn't proof enough, I don't know what to tell you. This is basically all the proof I need. You just keep scrolling down and you see, and even for example, you see that it uses old, so the handle is the original one that was linked, and it uses the old profile picture. So I noticed too that it was using the old profile picture for, yeah, look at Kaspa currency. Kaspa currency, again, the handle didn't change, even though it is their original account. Here, let's click it. Let's go to, yeah. Let's go to the source. And where does it take us? It takes us to Kaspa Unchained. So they changed their handle, but it's still linked to CoinX. The project, you know, they're just still linked. So that's wild. You know, that's wild. I don't want to make a big scene about it, but I'm definitely going to be sharing to you guys. And it's not going to be the first time I share about it because more people need to know. And next time, you know, I should probably start the video with it because anonymous devs are a red flag, especially if they have so much control over a project. That's something that's just another reason why I absolutely love Nacho. Devs are not anonymous. They're OGs in Kaspa, and they are all doxxed. And not only that, but they have a very small, like, their control over the project is minimal. The community works hand in hand, like, it's very much community driven. A lot of like the artworks and graphics actually come from community members, and it's come from many different community members. I could go down a whole list of them, people that have been helping out creating the images. Even me, for example, I've been helping time to time, giving tweet ideas, drafting tweets, even editing tweets. Even for example, like running the X, like, you know, it's how marketing this. This is something I have helped with Nacho, fair launch community, you know, just marketing the project. It comes not from just from the creators, but it comes largely and mostly from the community. And community members come, community members go, and still the project continues to thrive. And that's how it can thrive, because it's not reliant on anything nor anyone. This is what's going to be able to take Nacho to the billions. It's going to be able to take it long term. That's what matters the most. Again, going back to Bruce and Bully, how their anonymous dev, anonymous artist, they were running it and running it very similarly. Like, I mean, just look at the graphic images. Okay, focus on they were focusing on the graphics, and look at this angle of the walls here. Okay, it's the same exact angle between the walls, which is a weird angle because it's not a perfect right angle. Like, as a wall, you would think it'd be a normal perfect right angle, but the artist is basically looking like the same exact artist. Again, looking at the muscle tension here, same exact muscle tension shown. So basically it's showing artifacts of the same artist being used between the two. Okay. Looking at Burt, they had a bot launch in a way with their social, 50K, you know, 465, their first post ever on X. I made a note about it. You know, I was a bit, you know, sharing my little bit of red flags about Bird at the start. So they survived, and I give them a whole ton of credit, and I do apologize for sharing my doubts. But again, those doubts were well founded. I mean, look at what happened with smaller communities, and red flags with anonymous dev. And also for both Bruce and Bully, oddly enough, right when they launched, they had a very strong partnership or ties with Burt itself. Here we go, Burt reposting Bruce, which is like kind of weird. Talking about Bruce here, mentioning Scooby as well. Reposting an image of Bruce, which is just kind of weird. And again, like their style of tweets, it doesn't really use punctuation at the end of, and that's the same way Bruce and Bully were doing their socials. So it's like a little bit of red flag. Again, another repost, massive thanks to Burt. You know, they were going, thanks for trusting us. It's like they were just exchanging, easy breezy, sold out. Very strong relationship with Bruce. And it's like, again, Bruce focused entirely on the artwork, hand drawn. Burt does the same, focus entirely on this type of hand drawn. And I'm not so much dissing Burt or whatever. The fact that Burt has an anonymous founder, it's whatever. You know, Burt's gonna go as far and as high as the dev and the artist of Burt wants to take it. And of course, if the community wants to CTO it, if the Burt founder does end up leaving. So that's what it comes down to. So Bruce and Bully had the same exact deal. Right when Bully fair launched or whatever they did, Burt was promoting it just as I was promoting Bruce. It's just like, it was just weird. And it's like, why are you promoting this random thing? And the artwork will look very similar to Bruce, look similar in certain ways to Burt. So that's just like sharing my thoughts on certain red flags, you know, you could see across even Kaspa ecosystem. And even, for example, I mentioned in my other video with Mantis, the main dev, he left, or whoever, the person left. And now it's like the community has a CTO with what's left. And that's just bad. And someone in the Mantis community was sharing, like, it's just like a red flag when you have anonymous, so much power and control of the project on anonymous dev. A dev that you don't know, a dev that has no reputation, a dev that's not doxxed. So you're trusting this person to keep the project alive, and that's just not good. Not good at all. Again, with Bomo, like, I don't know, I haven't been following Bomo, okay? But again, reliance on this like weird type of art style. Who's the artist? Is the artist doxxed? Oh snap. Okay, no, never mind. So I'm guessing Bomo maybe had a community takeover, perhaps. I don't know. Don't know what's happening with Bomo, but it's good to see that there's some communities, keeping it alive, with even though their X is apparently not alive. Um, who's the founder? Who's the dev? Who's the artist? Does the community have direct control over the project, or is it the control of the project run by just like one person or two people? That's the thing that you really need to keep in mind when you're looking at meme coins for the long term. I'm not talking about quick pump and dumps like most meme coins are, but I'm talking about long term. I mean, all of these survived about a year already, and that's incredible. There's a reason why. It could be because the founder, the dev, the artist, or whatever, they want to take it long term. Who knows? It could be because of the community. It's community run, and the community is taking it and driving its marketing. That could be. I mean, that's a foundation for Nacho. Very community run. I mean, all these projects have massive communities, but Nacho has the biggest one. It's the most community driven, most community integrated of all of them, in my opinion. And that's why I'm so bullish with it. That's why I love it, and I absolutely do believe it's gonna reach the number one spot of the largest asset on Kaspa, especially for a bull run, especially for a Kaspa bull cycle. Uh, Community driven, community run. No, from day one, no pre-allocations, no whitelist, no central control, just transparent community driven action, as it should be. That's beautiful. I love it. You gotta love it too, because that's what made this, and that's the thing. Okay, that's what takes it long term. That's what you're looking for. Long term is the growth for the leading first meme coin of a blockchain, for, and in this case a block DAG. That's what's going to take it to the billions, not some sort of pump and dump like this and then it's going to die out. No, it's going to continue to succeed. It's going to be able to continue market itself because the team has control. Not the team has control. The community has control, and it's not just the community, but you're going to be powered by actually a very strong and doxed team. Well, they're not even like a team. They're just part of the community. So you have people part of the community that are trusted to help lead the team. That's and help lead the project. That's what's up with Nacho creators, the Nacho mod team, the Nacho creative team, the Nacho development team, the Nacho marketing team. There's all these teams, and literally you could get into any team just by helping out. Doing whatever you need to do to be seen and to contribute. There's a whole contributor channel as well for people that have contributed often to Nacho. So there's just so many ways, and so there's so much going for Nacho, not just being the first and largest. There's so much other behind this. There's so much, the foundation behind it is much deeper than just this. But this in and of itself is an incredible marketing point, and it's so easy to digest. It's so easy to bite into and understand why this is the next Shiba Inu, the next Bonk. That's the main breakdown. Some alpha, what I wanted to share, and some things to keep in mind looking long term and looking at a meme coin as the safest possible investment, especially as a meme coin. So these are all KRC20, so it's impossible to rug them. It's impossible to rug them as a KRC20. The contract, it just doesn't allow it. They're fair launched. These tokens are in control of every single individual holder. And you look at it's the most fairly distributed meme coin in the industry. Find me another meme coin that's more fairly distributed and it has like a market cap as high as this and it's so fairly distributed. You go higher and higher market cap and you would expect the distribution to be fairer than this, but it doesn't. That's not the case. And that's all thanks to the massive fair launch and community building before the launch for Nacho. And comparing the holder distribution, even to like the top meme coins like Solana, on Ethereum, like the top most popular meme coins, and the top 50% of holders in those meme coins, they have like over 50% of the supply in the top 50, over 50%. Now, Nacho just has about 34% of the total supply in the top 50. So that is like, that's just, you know, an example showing like the actual numbers of it. The distribution, how fair this distribution is. And, you know, even looking, it's now over a year old and still this distribution is incredible. No holder holds more than 1%. It's pretty wild. Even these exchange wallets, like, they're not even that massive. CoinEx one is pretty big. Apparently they purchased, or they were minting their own supply of Nacho. So the CoinEx does own some Nacho. I don't know how much, you know, who knows how much, but definitely has a lot of community members holding Nacho within there, because on CoinEx you can actually earn based off of their automated market maker. So CoinEx, you deposit it, your Nacho in CoinEx, and it has its own market maker that you would earn. You know, just imagine someone buys a ton and they pump the price, and then their automated market maker is going to probably, like, you know, sell a little bit, and you're going to be making off of some profit off of the width of the buy and the bid and the ask. It's automated market maker, okay, and it's not cool. I don't like it, and it's not. Don't keep your tokens on an exchange. Like, yeah, okay, you can make some money with their market maker, but like, imagine if the price just keeps going up. Like, imagine if someone keeps buying and buying and buying. Like, then it's not going to be profitable. You're actually going to be losing money. So I don't. And just imagine one day they just go under. Okay, so that's what happened with ZegX. That's what happened with these other smaller exchanges. I mean, they just went under. The CEO or whoever, they just stole money. I lost a lot of Nacho on ZegX because, yeah, I was trying to, like, you know, work the system with, like, you know, selling high, putting orders high up there, and if someone wanted to buy, then it'd sell, the order would fill, and I'd buy back at a low. Doing that on exchanges, like, there's just so much risk, because boom, the exchange just quits one day, and these are all, like, it's a small shady exchange. Like, a VPN works on it. It's no KYC, so it's like you already know it's not under harsh regulatory scrutiny. Gate.io, I mean, it can't even VPN into Gate.io because it requires KYC. Pinex as well. The Pinex Global does work with a VPN, but it's a little more strict than CoinEx, especially with the countries and all that. And it also has the branch in the US, which requires KYC. So Pinex is a little bit more, I think, more reputable than CoinEx. But when we get on the DEX, like, all that changes. It's all going to be decentralized. It's all going to be, you know, DeFi. There's not going to be a central point of error, or a central entity that can just, you know, rug or take your money. But with the DEX, it's going to have liquidity on, like, basically kept within a smart contract. So that's something I really want to cover as well. So for example, with ZealSwap, they have their DEX working, like, with liquidity. They're going to initially lock a bunch of Nacho, like a bunch of liquidity on their exchange is going to be locked. They're going to lock it up, which is great. Love it. But I'm also wanting to see the proof of that. I want to see the code and all that, just to make sure that it is locked, to make sure, you know, I don't want to take their word for it. But locking liquidity on an exchange is very important, because that's going to be how you can trade. That's going to be the way that, you know, buys and sells can work. So locked liquidity is great, especially it's going to have locked Nacho tokens on there, and locked Kaspa as well. It's going to be a pair. Nacho and Kaspa and other meme coins are going to have their own liquidity pool pair. So being able to provide the liquidity to the ZealSwap DEX, you're going to be able to earn from the trading fees. But also, you're going to have to keep in mind there's going to be, what's it called, impermanent loss. So if Nacho grows higher than Kaspa grows higher than Nacho, there's ways that you can actually lose money if you don't. You're going to have to keep supplying the other pair in order to keep an equilibrium between the two pairs. So that's, like, something you really need to look into, and I would not suggest it for anyone to do, to farm, you know, a DEX pool, because it's a little complicated and there's risk involved. So if you know what you're doing, then sure, be my guest. But so that's something you have to keep in mind, because there is still risk if the smart contract code just isn't good. And that's why it's incredible that Zealous was audited by one of the leading crypto audit companies. They've audited so many top level, top tier projects, including like Polygon, I think, and other ones. I forget what they were called. Hexen. I think it's Hexen. It not just audited Zealous, but it also um, audited Moonbound, and they found some actual critical errors, and they fixed it. They were able to fix it. So that was really important and really big. That was huge. So being able to have that code audited, and that code is also really important, that the code is open source, but no one is going to be able to just to like throw, like a random rogue dev isn't going to be able to just throw in some random code at the end and that's going to get launched for the mainnet. No, everything's going to be able to be seen there on the GitHub, and the only person that can put the final request of the code is Ashton himself. So that's also fantastic that Ashton has the final level of like clearance to give the AOK or to send the code, because Ashton is doxed and he's like the biggest leader in the Kaspa L2 ecosystem, in my opinion. Like he's just an incredible person. He's all for transparency and all that, but we can't just take his word for it either. So once the code gets launched and all that, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna look at it and make sure it looks to my eye, it looks good. I'm gonna throw an AI, see what it thinks, and we'll see. I've read also the audits from Hexen, and it looks great and it's very promising. So I mean, at the end of the day, there's always going to be like inherent risk to smart contracts. But once things have been running for a little bit, it's going to prove itself. Basically, it's going to show that okay, no, there's been no problems, so there's likely not going to be a problem. Especially the fact that it was audited by one of like the leading security companies. They're looking at basically like a bunch of hackers trying to hack their way to the code and to make sure it's not hackable and there's no problems with it or ways to take advantage of it. So smart contracts, there is inherent risk, but keep in mind that that's just how smart contracts work. So being able to provide liquidity to a DEX, the fact that the DEX has locked liquidity, that's great. So being able to rug Nacho, again, that's not going to be possible with liquidity that is locked on a DEX. So again, imagine if you want to add liquidity to the DEX, for example, ZealSwap, you add liquidity, you add Kaspa, and you add Nacho. So that's in a smart contract. And I believe that smart contract, it's like you can't actually, only the owner of that address can has the power to work with that contract, has the power to edit it or change that smart contract. So that's a great word. So basically it's creating these firewalls between everyone, where every single person that wants to add liquidity or stake a token, for example, stake their Nacho to earn from the Moonbound and Zealous swap fees, stake Nacho in the Infinity pool, and your stake Nacho is in a smart contract and protected by that smart contract. Nothing can change that smart contract. The only person that has power to is going to be that the yourself, the holder, the address owner, the owner of that that seed phrase, that private key. That's going to be something, again, it's like, okay, the code is audited and all that, but there's always going to be risks. But that's good to see. And Kaspa.com is also going to have their own DEX. They're going to have liquidity pool as well. So there's just all these ways and all these liquidity pools, but you have to just stay with the things that are especially most trusted in the ecosystem at the start, most especially. For me, I'm gonna not really try to touch things at the start. Just see how things go, and that's just the safest way forward with smart contracts. And do not touch tokens. If you get a token sent to you on your smart contract EVM compatible wallet like MetaMask, do not touch that token, because if you touch it, it could be a phishing token. And if you touch it and you interact with it, you give it access to your wallet, for example, you try to send it somewhere, it could be like a fake USDT token. And it looks like, oh, you have now $20,000 or whatever. But no, that's just a phishing token. And you try to send it to an exchange, for example, to sell it, and boom, you just gave access to your entire wallet to this one token, which is integrated with smart contract logic that now just wiped out all the funds in your wallet, and you have lost access. So you put any money in there, boom, it gets fished right out. And unfortunately, I have had friends that had that happen to them. It's very unfortunate to see, and it's terrible because there's nothing you can do. So be very, 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 very careful and understand the concept of a cold wallet. So there's a hardware wallet, and then there's a cold wallet. Okay, hardware wallet is basically any, it's like Tangent. Okay, Tangent can be a hardware wallet and a cold wallet. Hardware wallet is, it's physical. It's not connected to the internet. It's great. You can't get hacked. But the thing is, you can get hacked if you use that hardware wallet and interact with a malicious smart contract, or you interact with a malicious token, you interact with a malicious website, then that can literally steal your funds. You could click confirm on your hardware wallet, click OK, send the funds or send my one Kaspa, but then the malicious website, instead of sending just one Kaspa, the UI maybe said, okay, I just send one Kaspa, but then it takes all your Kaspa and takes it to a different address than the one you intended to. So that's why you have to think of your hardware wallet as a cold wallet, where you move your cold wallet, anything in your cold wallet, you want to interact with something else, first move it to a temporary location that you know is safe. Like send it to a hot wallet first that you know is safe. It's one of your hot wallets. Send it to another wallet that you own, like another MetaMask wallet or whatever, another Casper wallet. Send from your Tangent to a Casper wallet. Send just your one Kaspa from your Tangent to your Casper wallet, and then use that Casper wallet or MetaMask, the money in there that you just moved, use that to then move it to another wallet, or use that to interact with whatever website you want to interact with. If you want to swap something, swap it there. Don't swap it directly from inside your Tangent wallet or inside your cold. Your cold wallet is not meant to be used. It's not meant to interact with anything. Okay, it's meant to just hold, and you have to make sure you just use it to hold. That way, you keep the integrity of that wallet. You keep the security of it. That's what makes it a cold wallet. That's how it becomes a cold wallet. If you do nothing but hold on it and send. You send it to another wallet if you want to interact with anything using those tokens or those coins. Something very important to keep in mind. So that basically covers everything with what I wanted to talk about with red flags and what to keep an eye out for, sketchy projects, sketchy meme coins, things to keep in mind, and how the best practices to be safe with your money and your funds, and why I highly, highly endorse Nacho, of course, alongside with Kaspa. So that pretty much covers everything.